Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have not really like a car vlog, but like a chit-chat car vlog. Nope, car vlog, chit-chat. I don't know what you call it. I was gonna walk the park. It is 4:41, but it's starting to rain. So let's talk about what's been going on. Most of you guys know I am in the middle of a divorce, right? So that's never fun, right? Because I've said this before, even though I am happy about it, you know, I'm in the best mental place spiritually, mentally that I've been in for years. Now I suffer from depression, so I will have those days, but overall it's a good feeling, you know. I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells anymore. I can enjoy and feel like I'm at peace in my own home. But I feel like a failure. It hurts my feelings. It hurts my heart knowing somebody didn't love you and doesn't love you and doesn't care. Doesn't care if you have health insurance. Quit their job. Like, you know, like, it hurts. So I've been looking other places to get health insurance, right? Because I am diabetic, I have heart disease, and I need to get my medication. I'm on, like, the end of this month, I will have no more medication left. I did sign up for New Jersey Care, Family Care, so I'm waiting for that to see if I qualify for that. So I stressed about that. What am I going to do? But anyway, that makes me think, okay, well, what, do you hear the rain now? My channels. My main my beauty channel has over 50,000 subscribers, and I'm lucky if I get 2,000 to 3,000 views. And at one time, I was getting 30,000, 40,000 views per video. That's when subscription boxes were very popular, right? And they're not anymore. Ever since COVID, people don't wear makeup. They don't have the extra money to buy a beauty subscription box or any subscription boxes. Like, I get it. YouTube, like the analytics, that it's a computer, right? And so if I put something else out, something different, like a get ready with me, makeup I've been loving, anything different than unboxings, the computer looks at it like, what does the people that are subscribed to me watch? And so if I put something different out, it may not get promoted at all. Like, my channel is kind of what you would call shadow banned, because even if I search BoxyCharm, I don't even see my thumbnails, like my videos, till it's like way down, when I used to be at the very top. So what happens when you don't get, the views and all that, then the pay isn't there. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm only getting half of what my pay was I was getting before, which is nothing. Like, this channel, my vlog channel now, is making more money than my beauty channel. And this channel only has 12,000 subscribers. So here I go again, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? This is how I overthink. Okay, so now what am I going to do with finance? What am I going to do with this, and this? That puts me in a depression where then I don't film, and that's my fault because I'm not consistent like I used to be. I need to be putting videos out every single day over there, especially since the views are down. But it's my depression, and I think, well, why put out content and then edit and do all that because I do everything myself, if I'm not getting the views, if YouTube is not promoting my channel. I have not gained 100 subscribers in over 6 months. I'll gain them, but YouTube takes them away. When I woke up, another 27 were taken from me. And I know it's not people unsubscribing, because it like happens like within that first few seconds, like 27's gone, you know. And what YouTube does a lot of times is somebody who doesn't watch your channel in 3 months or what have you, they will unsubscribe from them, you know, or if they think it's bots or something like that. So then it got to me where I just wanted to quit that channel. It's like, do I even want to keep filming on that channel? Now, I'm going to, but what I'm saying is, when I'm at my deepest depression, I just think so negative, like, it's not even worth it, and I'm getting ready to cry, and I don't even know why. I hate when I'm like this. I hate the fact that when I work on the yard, I'm always so tired, and then it takes me a whole day to get myself adjusted. And I look at other YouTubers, especially around my age, and it's like, they can do TikTok, Instagram, they have a couple channels, they do shorts, and it's like, I don't have the energy to do that, or my health. And then I blame myself for not being consistent, and then why my channel is dying. And this is what depression looks like, or what I go through. I overthink of everything. Then I look at my life, that I'm so blessed. I have 3 healthy children. I live in a house that's paid off. I have a car. Even though I'm only getting 3,000 views on my beauty channel, I know there's so many people that would love to get that many views. Like, I know that. But I think February would be 7 years I've been on that channel. And it's like, you haven't gained 100 subscribers in 6 months? And this all stems with depression and me stressing over every little thing. And I just wanted to share, you know, what I go through. It's not all these highs. I don't want people looking at my channel like, oh, I wish I was like you. You're going through a divorce and you're going through all this, and how are you so happy? Because I want to show all of me. I'm not always happy. You know, I just film when I'm happy. You know? I share my stories a lot of times because, one, I think it's relatable. 2, it helps me. It's kind of like therapy. Like I always say, not that I consider you guys my therapist. No. But it helps me. And I feel maybe my story can help one of you guys that are going through or went through, and, you know, different situations. And it also, when I hear your stories, when you share them in the comments, helps me out. That's why, like, I've always said I share. I was a single mom. Even though I was married, I still felt like a single mom. But, you know, before I met my soon-to-be ex-husband, I was a single mom living in the projects. I'm a recovering addict. Getting in trouble with the law, you know. You know, I'm not perfect. I wasn't a perfect parent. But I share situations, and this is getting to where this comment that really put me under. I made a video yesterday I made a video of my thoughts on the 8 passengers and what's going on. And I stated like what, you know, is going on. I didn't want to share any like videos or like the 911 call and all that, because I know there's a lot of videos that have that. I just couldn't stomach it. And then I shared my thoughts. And then I also talk about, like I normally do, punishments I did with my children. And I've shared, you know, I've took the door one time from Isaiah for 2 days. It was 7 or 8. I don't remember what we were talking about or arguing. I don't remember what he got mad about. And he went in he was going down to his room. And I said, don't you slam that door. And he slams it. And then he opens the door, looks right at me, and slams it again. Oh, I was pissed. I go down to his room, and then he locked the door. That really pissed me off. I said, open the door. He was like, no, no, no. And I'm like, open the door. And he wouldn't. So I got a screwdriver, and he heard me trying to get the doorknob off, and then he unlocked it. So I just said, well, now you don't have a door to slam. And I took the door off. And then, like I said, I couldn't get it back on, so I had to get somebody to help me put it back on. Oh, my God. And pay them $10. Can you believe they charged me $10? Anyway, to put the door on, and he had his door. So it was 2 days. Really, it would have been a day, but I had to wait to get somebody to help me put the door on. That was my karma. I shared where when I told my kids, you know, they all had chores and, you know, like to do the dishes. And 2 days they didn't do the dishes. And I waited and waited. And I said, okay. When they went to school, I took all the dishes and I put it in a box and put it in the trunk. And I just left the paper plates and like the plastic forks, spoons, and all that. I've always had them, right? So when they come home to get their snack, they're like, where's the plates and the glasses and stuff? And I had like the plastic cup, you know, the styrofoam cups, not the red good cups, the styrofoam cups. And I'm like, oh, I threw them away. I lied and told him I threw them away. Again, that was only for a day or two because I wanted them to appreciate the silverware and a good knife to cut your meat and stuff, because I made sure I cooked dinner and all that stuff, and I made steak one night. You know how hard it is to cut steak with a plastic fork? You know, just to show them. You teach them. I remember Lexi, this is when the school was saying, you know, about whatever, you know, like calling the cops and all that kind of stuff. So I said something to Lexi, told her to go to her room or something like that. I don't know what it was. And she says, I'll call the cops. I said, what? She goes, I'll call the cops. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. And this is when cordless phones, remember the cordless phones? I said, here, call the cops. And I said, now, you know what? Pack your stuff. She goes, what? She had a little pink little suitcase. I said, pack your stuff. So I remember it was her and Isaiah. Tyler was at my mom's house, or maybe over his friends or something like that. I can't remember. And I had them get their stuff together, like a little suitcase thing, and had them get in the car. And I went to the police station and I parked and I said, now get out. I would have been mortified if they would have got out. I didn't think that far. And they cried, said, no, mommy. Lexi was like, no, mommy, please, please, please. Now that might be cruel. Some people might think it's cruel. But I had to teach my lesson, teach them, don't throw in my face, you're going to call the cops. Because if you don't want to be here, you know, you can go. And then I had to then later on that night when it was one-on-one with Lexi, I explained to her, you know, about just different things, and we talked, and I gave her a hug and told her I loved her very much, and I'm glad she didn't go out of the door and go to the cops, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Well, she never did that again. I was raising my kids in the projects, and there was a lot of bad kids out there, and drug dealing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, my kids witnessed people getting stabbed, shot. I mean, I can tell you a lot of things that I feel guilty about, but it's just what happened. And so I wanted my children to have the fear of God, not scared of me, but to have that respect. If I tell you to do something, you do it. I wanted good kids. I had my kids involved in church. My kids, Thanksgiving, they will tell you, before they ate Thanksgiving, we were at a homeless shelter or a church feeding the homeless before my kids ate. Christmas Day, same thing. And my kids turned out amazing. They're not perfect kids by all means, but they're good kids. And I am so lucky that my kids were young enough. They don't remember me, the drinking and drugging and all that stuff. I mean, Isaiah was 3 weeks old the last time I ever got high. I mean, I didn't get high in my pregnancy, but 3 weeks I was fiending, you know, when I got high. They don't remember that. Lexi was 4, and Tyler was, what, 8 or 9? And he was at my mom's house. He always stayed with my mom, you know, on the weekends, because, of course, grandma's spoiled, you know. So they don't remember any of that stuff, thank goodness, you know. And I would only get high, like, on the weekends when I partied and my kids wasn't home. Now, I share this because, like I said, what I've been going through mentally. I've also had trauma when I was a child, which I'm not going to get into, but so making that video was a little triggering for me, but I think it needs to be talked about. Child abuse needs to be talked about, okay? Looking up to YouTubers that we really don't know needs to be talked about more. And then I get a comment yesterday as I was going through everything that I'm going through, and this one comment really set me off. Let me find it. So this person puts, I was talking about the 8 passengers, which I'll leave that video linked in a pinned comment if you haven't watched it. She says, you had me until you talked about your parenting and beliefs about kids and treatment of your kids. And then you married a man who treated them bad. You might want to reevaluate your lens. I had to read that a few times because I thought, what is bringing up my soon-to-be ex in with anything of that video? I am never, ever going to come on camera and act like I was the perfect person or perfect parent, because I was not. I did the best I could being a single parent. The best I could. I didn't have a father or a mother around me helping me. I didn't have aunts and cousins. I did it all by myself. I didn't have anybody I could turn to. I didn't have YouTube, or I don't even know if YouTube was even available then when my kids were growing up. I had nobody to talk to or to get any I don't know, opinions or whatever the right word is on different situations, okay? It's not like it was now. And I also want to say this. Even though my husband's on, like my mother would say, my shit list, even though my husband is on my shit list, he has never put his hands on my kids, ever, ever. Except for what just happened this past few months ago. My son is 27. But as my kids were minors, ever. He never even punished my children. That's the reason why we fought all the time, because I always took my kids' side. Okay? So if I ever gave that, because what type of mother would I be allowing a man to put their hands on my child or to punish my kids or anything like that when I dealt with things as I was a child that I thought my mother and grandmother and them should have protected me? Oh, I'm getting pissed again. But what my husband was, he was mean as far as he didn't show them any love. It was always business. Let's talk about that. You know, if they would come home, not, hi, how was your day? Is, what happened in school? Blah, blah, blah. Like say they got in trouble or something like that. I don't know. Or talking about different colleges. He never took them anywhere to spend quality time with them. Ever. If they would wake up, he never even said good morning to them. He's never said he loved them. He never bought them anything. Now, yes, that is neglect. And that is being, you know, but as far as I am talking about a woman, 8 passengers, Ruby, Frankie, abusing her children physically and different things. Don't bring up my husband about I put up with a man who treated my kids bad. It is a different category. Even though I feel terrible, and that's another thing that I feel, that I put up with this for 11 years and I had my kids around this. When you could do bad all by yourself. Don't think I don't feel bad about that. So that put me even more, because it made me feel like, did I? This is how I replied. I said, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I can count on one hand as many times my kids were punished. I raised my kids to have respect. I was a single parent living in the projects. My kids turned out amazing. What does my parenting have anything to do with my soon-to-be ex? What's wrong with taking a door down for 2 days because my son defied me and slammed the door twice when I said not to? Guess what? He never did that again. Was I supposed to say, it's okay, Isaiah, you can defy me? Your comment really pissed me off. That's what I put. And then she replied, and I did not reply back. I hear you. And I apologize, I shouldn't have mentioned the ex. But you are the one who has talked about how crappy he was to the kids. I didn't just make that up. I have no doubt that your children adore you and that you are a loving parent. That said, you still sound very authoritarian. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Authoritarian versus... I'll put it up here because I can't even pronounce these words. Which is a much better way, according to many child development specialists. It's a safer adult for the child. You said that you don't believe that kids deserve privacy, and that you don't believe whatever is theirs is theirs. That's unless a child is paying rent, nothing belongs to them. I'll get on that in a second. I challenge you to really look at what you're saying. I think you are better than that. I really meant it when I said I think you should evaluate your lens. Kids deserve ownership and they deserve respect. And by the way, I suspect you're parented very differently than the way you are talking. But you have a big audience, and it's important to release or speak about good parenting techniques and not to get the belt way of parenting. First of all, I never said I got the belt to my children, because I never put a belt to my children, okay? And let me explain this. I don't think kids should have privacy. I'm sorry, living in my house. That's just my belief. Now, do they have a door? Are they able to shut their door? Absolutely. Do I knock on their door when they were children, even now as an adult, before I come in? Absolutely. I don't just open the door. When they're in the bathroom, the only time they're able to lock their door if they're in the bathroom taking a shower or whatever the heck they're doing, okay? I started this not locking door thing because, God forbid, an emergency, a fire or anything like that. And I didn't want them getting in the habit of locking the door and then they do it, fall asleep, and there's a fire or something like that. Here's this thing with this gentle parenting stuff. Now, I know people do it and I'm not going to downplay it, but I believe that sometimes the gentle parenting goes so far that that's why these kids are disrespectful to today compared to how we were when we were raised or when our parents were raised. My grandmother and my mother raised me. My grandmother was born in 1927 and my mom was born in the early 50s. And my grandmother, if I talk back to her, she used to throw cast iron pans at us, at our feet. I learned how to jump real quick away. That's just how it was back then. It was, if they beat her ass and there were people outside, they just turned their head. I'm going to call you one time when those lights go out, those street lights go out. And if you don't come in, you're in trouble. One time is all you get. That's how it was. But I don't believe you should threaten your kids with food and all that other kind of stuff. That is our responsibility as parents. But kids have to know if they do wrong, they get punished. They get things taken away. If they think that everything is theirs and you can't take things away, where is that fear coming from? Kids need still to have fear. Let me tell you about my mother. I never disrespected her at all because I had fear, okay? One time I was 16, I'll never forget this, I was at the principal's office, and I remember the principal was saying, I see your daughter more than I see my own wife, and I remember rolling my eyes or something, and my mom backslapped me. Guess what? I shut up real damn quick. And he just kept right on writing. Because I needed to be smacked. I knew when my mother said I had it up to here, me and my brother knew, all right, calm the hell down. Right? And my mom didn't beat us like that and all that kind of stuff. But we had respect. We had that fear. We knew we were going to get in trouble. Our toys taken away. Our TV taken away. You know, we knew. We didn't want that to happen. So we knew. We had fear of that type of stuff. We didn't want our phones taken away, the house phones, you know. People called and the parents said, oh, Ann can't talk, she's on punishment. You know, that kind of thing, right? See, when I say like comments like this, we really have to be careful because we don't know what people's mental health is. Even just because they're a content creator, it doesn't matter. Just because I share certain things, don't throw in my face my husband and how he treated my kids because I talked about it. Because if you don't think I feel bad, just to keep my health insurance or thinking it'll get better, you got another thing coming. But thank goodness my kids are adults. I just cried. I remember calling I had two friends, Jody and Lisa, and I just cried. Because I just felt so guilty. Like, did I? Was I hard on my children? Was I a bad parent? So I had a talk with my son, my 27-year-old. And I asked him, I says, Tyler, you know, tell me the truth. Do you think I was too hard on you? You know, tell me. And he says, Mom, no, you were a good mom. He said, listen, we did things when we were younger. He goes, I remember going to Grandma's house, and because I knew she had different type of food and we always wanted something, we would always say we were hungry. And Tyler goes, Mom, the first thing I would say is I was hungry. And Grandma would say, well, didn't your mom feed you? And he would say, well, if I said, yeah, I knew she wouldn't give me anything. So I would always say no. Right? And different things. And he goes, I understand now why we couldn't always get things when we wanted it and have all these things. But he says, but I always had everything I needed. He goes, now that I'm an adult, I understand. And he says, you were a good mom. He said, Mom, we were the best dressed of all the kids in the school. And he said, we always had everything first. He was like, you always did for us. And he said, to be honest with you, I should have got my ass beat. He said, Mom, he said, I was terrible growing up and you should have beat my ass. He said, and I wouldn't have blamed you. And then Lexi, as I was talking to Tyler, Lexi was coming home from work. She gets home at 11:30. And she was like, what are you crying for? And so Tyler was like, I don't know, because I didn't tell Tyler it was a comment or anything like that. Like, we don't talk about my YouTube stuff. And he goes, I don't know, Mom's wanting to know how we treat it. And Lexi was like, Mom, we had a good childhood. What are you talking about? She goes, you know, Mom, I never knew I was poor. She said, even when we lived in the projects, I didn't realize we were poor. She said, I thought we were middle class. I'm like, middle class? But it just made me feel a lot better. But it made me question myself, because I'm already going through just a depression, a little funk, I guess you would say, an episode. I don't know what you would say. I'm stressing about a lot of things. So the point of this video is, be careful what you write. Even if you think, well, I would never do that. I can't believe she did that with her kids. You know, it's not abuse. As long as you know somebody's not abusing their kids, you know. And we're going back, what, 15, 17 years ago? Come on. But, like, sometimes it's best just to keep your mouth shut. And how wrong is that? When somebody's at one of their worst times getting a divorce, you throw that man in their face because I talked about it. All right, I'm going to get off of that because I'm getting mad, and that was not really the purpose of this video. Sometimes when I get emotional or get my feelings hurt, I get angry. All right, let me fix this camera and put it over here because I do need to get gas. I need to go to Walmart and get Benadryl for Lexi. I'll tell you what's going on with her. And I need to go to Target. Well, I don't have to go to Walmart. I need to go to Target and get Isaiah's milk. I'll go get gas last because I got to see if there's some double Dutch. Anyway, let me get this set up and I'll be right back. I always forget to turn this down.
System ready.
Okay, it's the radar detector. All right, so I'll get gas last. But, so let me ask you a question. Anybody that works in the medical field, or maybe you know. So Lexi has to wear gloves for her job. And they're not latex gloves. She says they don't have latex there, but you know how sometimes powder or something's in the gloves? Well, Lexi's starting to break out really bad, like in a rash. And then she like wipes her face, so her face is breaking out. But she's getting these bumps. They look like pimples that is actually starting to scar, but they're itchy and bumpy. I had to give her some allergy pill last night. And with the medicine that she's on, you know, she has that fluid, extra fluid and stuff. There's a lot of medicine that she can't take. Is there anything that you guys recommend? Oh, I need to turn here. Is there anything that you guys recommend? Because I said, well, how about latex free? And she said they're not latex. So what kind of glove can you get? Like, do you think it's the powder? Like, do they make gloves without powder? Have you guys ever experienced somebody breaking out with latex free gloves? Let me know if there's anything you guys can recommend, because it's weird because she didn't always break out like that. Maybe like hives or something. I don't know how to explain it. So let me know what you guys recommend. I did dye my hair the other day, hence why it looks a little dark. I have some almond oil in my hair, so if it looks a little greasy, but I'm going to wash that out tonight. I was going to go today by Atlantic City because I want to show you with the eastbound strangler where the victims were and how their heads were faced. The 4 victims' heads were faced east, hence why they call it the eastbound strangler. And now they think it might be the Rex guy, the New York, Long Island killer, might be involved in all this other type of stuff. So I like to go there, but like I said, it's been raining all day and off and on, so I couldn't do that. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow because I really want to get that done. I think that's really interesting. All right, because it's 5:30, it's 5:29. I'm turning in the plaza now. I'll be right back once I get to Target. I'll be back. All right, I am here. Look at all the puddles and stuff. Let's, gosh, it looks like I was crying. You ever see when you can notice? You can always tell when I was crying because I can't hide it. You know, like my eyes are always puffy and all that type of stuff. All right, let's go in here and let's get some stuff. All right. It's $4.19 a piece. Let me get 2 of these for Isaiah. So this is what I got. I got some paper towels, some cleaning stuff. This is different, Cinnamon Toast Crunch rolls. And the kids really liked this when I got this last time. Limited edition. So, all right, let me get some milk. All right, I spent 80 bucks. Let me get my receipt out. Always, what's in my pocket? In there. So it's 6:07. I have a video. First of all, it had a downpour. I had to wait for like 10 minutes before I even like tried to get to the car. Now it kind of like stopped raining. I have a video that I get ready with me that I need to edit, but I already know the time I get home, it'll never be able to go up tonight, so it'll probably go up Tuesday for you guys. This video as well. Okay, so let's get gas at Wawa and also some Double Dutch chocolate milk. How the heck do I get out of here? And then that's it. I'm gonna make some homemade dog treats. I think I'm gonna film it and I'll just make like a separate video. It'll be a short video, like a 10-minute video, how I make my homemade dog treats. Let me know if you'll be interested in that. Or maybe I could put it in a vlog. I don't know, let me know. Alright guys, I will see you once I get to Wawa because the roads are slippery and I don't want to vlog when the weather is like this. Let me turn around so you can see what I'm talking about with the puddles and stuff. I'm still in the parking lot. You see? And there's puddles all in the road and I do not want to drive like this. So I'll be back. Oh, of course I forgot bags in Target, but I do have my Wawa bag for the Double Dutch chocolate milk. That's the only thing I have to get. I'll stop, get gas, run in Wawa, because I already got milk and stuff at Target. Like, I got 2 gallons of whole milk. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, let me get some gas real quick. Get some gas for that ass. And then as I'm getting gas, I will go look in and see if we have any Double Dutch. Hello, can you give me 10 of regular, please? I'll be back. Thank you so much. Okay. Alright, they had no Double Dutch, so I'm going to go to the small, the dirty Wawa. I always call that, ever since we were kids. And then see if they have any Double Dutch there. It's like it's 6:16, so they won't have any. They have regular chocolate ones, but I will see because it's right literally down the street. That's the only reason why I'm checking. Boy, I'm out of breath. That I am gonna see. Ooh, I got a green light, a green arrow. Now it looks like the sun wants to come out at 6 o'clock at night. All day it was rainy and, you know. I do want to thank you guys for listening and giving me a platform so when I am feeling depressed and stuff like that, that I can talk about my feelings, if that makes sense, you know. I do appreciate you guys. I tell you that all the time, and you know, especially when I do my little rant sessions, my little venting, you know, because like I said before, I'm not always like, oh, happy. I wish I was. I wish I didn't suffer from depression and different things, you know, I really do. or anxiety or this OCD, like, oh, I gotta find Double Dutch, I have to find it, like, like when I get like this, I hate it. It's not even for me. I hate the fact that I overthink and then I don't sleep and all that kind of stuff. I wish I wasn't like that, but in reality I am. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner, and I just want to show you all sides, because there are so many of us that go through hard times, and I don't want you guys thinking that it's just you. Everybody goes through hard times, regardless who they are, how much money you have. You know what I mean? Having money doesn't always mean happiness. Not that I have money, I'm just talking. Like, you see these millionaires. See, look, the other one was right here. You see these millionaires and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that they're happy, right? I mean, money gives you freedom where you can go anywhere you want and buy anything you want. But that's only temporary, you know what I mean? All right, let's run in here real quick and see if they have it. I'll be back. Say they just have cookies and cream and just regular chocolate. No, Double Dutch. This is where the Double Dutch would be. None. See, I told you. All right, let me find my phone and let me call Isaiah and see if he wants me to get him anything before I go home. Do you want anything to eat before I come home? I'm getting ready to come home.
I just ate the rest.
You ate the rest of the chicken?
Yeah.
Do you want anything for later? I'm gonna go to Wendy's and get a salad, I think.
I don't think so, because Wendy's sucks.
Well, so does McDonald's. You like McDonald's, and McDonald's sucks donkey balls. What was I gonna say? I got you 2 of your chocolate milks. You think that's funny? All right, I'll be home. I'll be home in a few minutes.
Well, actually, can you give me chili?
Chili?
Please?
Chili with cheese? Yeah. With the cheese?
Sure, yeah, it's fine.
All right, what size do you want?
Because it can sit in there for a minute without being nasty.
Okay.
Yeah, if a large isn't that much, then that's fine, but a medium, if it's too much.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, bye. All right, I'm going to go to Wendy's. So I'm going to say my goodbyes now because it's getting a little crowded. And like I said, I usually vlog when there's like no traffic. So if you get bored and want to watch some more of my videos, I will leave some right here. Check them out. I'll also leave the 8 passengers video. The one that I was talking about, my little rant session, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get me a salad, get Isaiah chili. Alright guys, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. And I will see you